Welcome to English class. Today I am going to teach you English of Standard 8, Section 2, Dusk. You also take your test, Dusk. Can you see this one? It is a new lesson, Dusk. It was written by Saki. He is a British writer and father of a short story. Saki is the pen name. It is not the real name. Real name, that is a Hector Hugh Munro. Then this story is happened in the evening. That is the why it is called dusk. Dusk meaning the time in the evening. Norman, here is a suppose a stranger tells you that he has come to your town for the first time, left his wallet in his hotel room and forgotten the name of his hotel. Would you sympathize with him? A stranger in the town first time in Vanu and he forgotten his things in the hotel. But at the same time he forgotten the name of the hotel also. What would you sympathize with him? Let's start our lesson. Norman Godsday sat on the bench in the corner of Hyde Park with his back to fence the area of a grass planted with the bushes. It was at dusk, about 30 minutes past 6 and early in the evening. Then here described the Norman Godsday sat on the bench of a Hyde Park. Hyde Park, that is in a central London. And it was a time, it was an evening time. So, it was a mixture of a failing daylight, pale moonlight and light from the street lights and a distance away. And this evening time, that is a pale light is seen. Because it looked like that the dreams are died out that time seen. The place looked empty, though there were a few people walking silently through the half light or sitting alone here and there on other benches. But it is an evening time, that's why a few people walking here, somewhere sitting here and there, and this time. They looked like men and women who had lost the battle of life and had come out this twilight hour, hoping it seemed to hide their shabby clothes and their drooping shoulders for the curious eyes of their fellow men. Then they were sitting, but they were looking like a miserable mood because the day's work is over. They sit here in a miserable mood. To hide their shabby clothes, to the clothes that is in a bad conditions, and drooping shoulders. Drooping shoulders here means shoulders that are bent because weakness and tiredness. They were working very hard in the daytime and in the evening time they were very tired and sit in the park. That's why. Okay. Then, God's day imagination pictured various things about these sad-faced wanderers in the dust. Gorby's imaginations are pictured here. Then, old man or a poor or not rich, they came here like a wanderers. Wanderers here means homeless people. They look like a homeless people. And their poverty or their disappointment in life, their feelings of failure and possible, their miserable conditions are seen in their faces because they look like a tired persons. Then on the bench by his side sat an elderly gentleman with the expression of a defeated person who refused to admit his defeat. At this time, an old man was sitting along with this Godsday. But his expression seemed that he was a defeated person, but he did not admit that he was defeated person. Then his clothes were not shabby, but they were neither too expensive or nor new. What about his clothes? It is not quite shabby. Not a shabby here means not a bad condition. It's good clothes, but that clothes is not expensive, not very costly. As he got up to go, Godfrey imagined him to be a man whom no one was particularly interested either at home or outside. When he wake up to walk, but his walking looked like that. At home he was not interested man. അതായത് അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ പെരുമാറ്റം അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ നടത്തം എല്ലാം കണ്ടിട്ട് അദ്ദേഹത്തെ വീട്ടിലും ആർക്കും ഒന്നും അത്ര ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റിംഗ് ആയിട്ടുള്ളൊരു വ്യക്തിയാണെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നില്ല. As his figure disappeared slowly into the shadows, his place on the bench was taken almost immediately by young man. The old man went. Then at this time, young man came to his place in the bench, as if to emphasize the fact that he was deeply troubled and unhappy. But the young man also looked very unhappy. A newcomer uttered a curse or two and threw himself into the sea. And the young man said something, and he went to this farm and sit in this bench. Then you don't seem in a very good temper, said that Godsby. About Godsby, young man contemplated, you are not in a good condition. Judging that he was expected to show some sympathy, but Godsby wanted to show some sympathy towards this young man. And the young man turned to people with a look of great frankness, which put Godsby instantly on his guard. On his guard here means became very careful and prepared for something difficult. And the condition of the young man was not in a good condition. So Godsby shows some sympathy towards this young man. You wouldn't be in a good temper if you are in trouble. I am in. Then Godsby asked the young man, you are not in a good condition, is it correct? Yes. And said Godsby without much enthusiasm, yes. And he said the answer without any interest. I came to the London this afternoon intending to stay at Pentagon Hotel in Berkshire Square, continued the young man. When I got up there, I found that the hotel had been pulled down some weeks ago and the cinema theatre had been put up in this place. Then what he says, the young man, he says that this afternoon he came to this London and he wanted to stay in a Patagonian hotel, but that hotel was destroyed. At this place a cinema theatre was built, put up there. The taxi driver recommended to go another hotel and went there. I sent a letter to my people giving them address and went to buy some soap and had forgotten to pack any and hate using a hotel soap. Then a taxi driver recommended to him to stay in another hotel. And so as a way, I went to another hotel, but I wanted to buy a soap. So I went out to that new hotel. Then I strolled about a bit and drank a beach bar and looked at the shops, and then he turning step back to the hotel. Then after he went to the bar and drank some, and after that I forgotten the name of that hotel. And now that's a nice situation for the fellow to be, and he wasn't any friends or connection in this hotel. Then another thing is that he had no friends here. And of course, I can write to my people for the address, but that won't my letter till tomorrow. Meanwhile, I am without any money. I have no money, so I write this condition to my people, and so. But now I have no money. I am without any money. Came out only a shilling on me. Shilling. Here means pence or shilling, a British coin used in 1971. 20 shilling in 1 pound. That's and so I hear I am wandering about with 2 pence only in my pocket. Never go for a night. I have no money, only 1 shilling. That's why 2 pence only I have. There was a meaningful pause after the story had been told. He said this story. And he posted something. To post here means a period of time during which a person stop expressing something. ഒരു സ്റ്റോറി പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടൊന്ന് സ്റ്റോപ്പ് ചെയ്യും. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഐ സപ്പോസ് യു തിങ്ക് ദാറ്റ് ഐ ഹാവ് മെയ്ഡ് an impossible cock and bull story. I hear this story because I thought that it was not a real story. Not an impossible. God speak carefully. I remember doing exactly the same thing once in a foreign city. The occasion there were two of which made it no more remarkable. This type of story was once happened in a foreign country. He remembered. Luckily, we remember that the hotel was on a sort of canal. But that story, that gentleman know the hotel was on the banks of the canal. That he remembered. That's about today's class. You read it well and study it well. Okay.